2016 meeting of the Ways and Means Committee will now come to order. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Mr. Ansello. Here. Mr. Baroff. Here. Dr. Carbone. Here. Mr. Delahanty. Here. Chairwoman Draw.
Here.
Mr. Felder. Here. Mr. Hebert. Here. Mr. Marionetti. Here. Mr. Morelli. Here. Mr. Moyo. Here. Mr. Rocco.
Welcome everyone to the first Ways and Means Committee here tonight of 2016. And my predecessor before us always said this Pledge of Allegiance, which I thought was very apropos, and I'd like to continue to do that. And tonight I would like us to stand and have Legislator Hebert please lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Are there any speakers signed up for public forum tonight?
There are not.
And is there anyone here tonight that would like to address the committee at this time? Seeing none. At this time, we have the approval of minutes, the next item on the agenda. You have the minutes from the December 3rd meeting of 2015. They will stand approved unless the clerk is notified of any changes by the end of today. And at this time, before we move on to new business, I would like to take the time to have the administration table please introduce themselves to some of us as returning legislators as well as the new legislators here tonight. So thank you. Start with you, Bill.
My name is Bill Napier. I'm the county's communications director and the legislative liaison for the county executive.
Good evening, Bob Franklin, county CFO.
Mike Molinari, Assistant County Executive.
Terry Rice, I'm the Director of Transportation.
Tim Murphy, Director of Real Property.
Julie Ellen Aldridge, Director of Monroe County Office for the Aging.
Good evening. David Moore, Director of Public Safety.
John Clark, Director of the Crime Lab.
Mary Young, Division Manager for Public Health Nursing Services.
Mike Giardino, Director of Aviation.
Jennifer Curley, Planning and Research, Sheriff's Office.
Michael Fowler, Sheriff's Office Commander.
And I'm Neha Stowe from the Law Department.
Thank you all. New business. Will the clerk please read the title and the referral?
Referral 16-0038.
Legislator Hebert and seconded by Legislator Carbone. Is there any discussion on this tonight? Seeing none. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Any opposed? Item carries. Thank you. Next item.
Referral 16-0039.
Moved by Legislator Carbone and seconded by Legislator Delahanty. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by aye. Any opposed? Item carries. Next item.
Referral 16-0040.
Moved by Legislator Delahanty, seconded by Legislator Rocco. Is there any discussion? Legislator Baroff.
Through the chair to the administration, I had a couple questions about this referral. I know that this is in regards to preventing theft from and of motor vehicles, and my question is, what is the preponderance of the crimes we're talking about? Thefts from cars and such things, or the actual vehicles being stolen themselves?
It's a combination of both. Primarily, the grant was started for the theft of the actual vehicle, and it has since, over the years, expanded into thefts from the vehicle.
Thank you. I asked through the chair because at least in my district, at least, there seems to be, and from the crime reports I get, a preponderance of thefts from vehicles as opposed to the vehicles themselves being stolen. Would that be the case across the county, would you say, through the chair?
Through the chair, yes, that is correct. Our number of actual motor vehicle thefts in this county is fairly low.
Thank you. And then finally, through the chair, would that mean then that most of the training that is that comes from this grant is actually for prevention of or training around mitigating thefts from motor vehicles?
Through the chair, that's correct.
Thank you.
Any other discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Item carries. Next item.
Referral 16-0041.
Moved by legislator Rocco and seconded by legislator Ansello. Is there any discussion on this? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Item carries. Next item.
Referral 16-0042.
Moved by legislator Ansello and seconded by legislator Marinetti. Is there any discussion on this? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Item carries. Next item, please.
Referral 16-0043.
Moved by legislator Marinetti and seconded by legislator Hebert. Is there any discussion on this? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Item carries. Next item.
Referral 16-0044.
Moved by legislator Hebert and seconded by legislator Carbone. Is there any discussion on this? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Item carries. Thank you. Next item.
Referral 16-0045.
Moved by legislator Carbone and seconded by legislator Delahanty. Is there any discussion on this? Legislator Barra.
Thank you. Through the chair of the administration, I note that on this referral, where we look at the question of whether or not there's any property taxes owed to the county, there is actually one recipient who has delinquent property taxes. Is that treated somehow differently? Can we perhaps utilize, put this payment towards his delinquent taxes, or is that not the case?
Through you, Madam Chairwoman, in order to, this was a negotiated agreement for these easements, and in order to validate that exchange of something of value was necessary, and in this case, the agreed upon amount for these individuals was $890.
Yes, I understand. Through the chair, my question, however, is can that $890 be applied to the delinquent taxes which the individual owes the county?
Through you, Madam Chairwoman, that's a question that's being looked into now, whether or not a credit to the delinquent taxes would actually suffice to constitute an exchange of something of value, and at this point we don't have a determination on that.
Thank you, that makes sense. Through the chair of the administration, as a follow-up, do you anticipate that we'll have a determination before we meet in full legislature?
Through you, Madam Chairwoman, I don't have a timeline as to when we would have that determination. That's currently being reviewed by the law department.
Thank you. Then, through the chair of the administration, I'll just note that I'll be asking this question again at the full legislature, see if that determination has been made.
Great. Thank you. Any other discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Item carries. Next item.
Referral 16-0046.
Moved by legislator Delahanty and seconded by legislator Rocco. Is there any discussion on this? Legislator Barra.
Thank you. Through the chair of the administration, the amount of the grant for $1.9 million from October of the past year to June of the 2016, is this a comparable payment or a comparable amount of money as to past years?
Through the chair, yes, it is.
Thank you.
Any other discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Item carries. Next item.
Referral 16-0047.
Moved by legislator Rocco and seconded by legislator Ansello. Is there any discussion? Legislator Morelli.
Thank you, Madam Chairwoman. On behalf of the Democratic Caucus, we wish you luck and look forward to working with you in your new capacity.
Thank you. Welcome to Ways.
Through you, Madam Chairwoman, to the administration, I see that the DeFiore Construction was the lowest bidder on this project at $212,000. Is the $212,000 the local share of this project, or is that the total cost of this project?
Through you, Madam Chairwoman, it's the total cost for construction.
Thank you. And through the administration, through you, Madam Chairwoman, to the administration, is there any amount of money being put up by the town of Parma for this project?
Through the chair, no, there is not.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other discussion on this? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Item carries. Next item, clerk.
Referral 16-0048.
Moved by legislator Ansello and seconded by legislator Marinetti. Is there any discussion? Legislator Morelli.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Through you to the administration, Why is it that the county is paying for, I believe, the construction of sidewalks in this project?
Through the chair, we're paying for the construction of a lot more than just sidewalks, but we are paying for sidewalks, which we don't always do. Initially thought we were going to get 100% federal money, some of it being previous earmarks as well as some formula dollars. And when there was a reduction in the type of projects and not enough federal money a few years ago, or a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, they took away the formula dollars, but we had already made commitments to the town and to the public saying that we would cover their share of the sidewalk.
Through you, Madam Chair, to the administration, is there a reason that the town itself isn't covering any of the sidewalk portion? I mean, I understand that this is a large project and the sidewalks are only a small piece, but it seems like an additional piece that the county has to take up. Is there a reason that the town of Henrietta isn't picking up any of this?
Through the chair, typically when there's 100% or all federal money, so we're only in it for 5%, the whole project, we have paid for that local share, the 5% local share of the sidewalks for the town. And that's how we approached this from the beginning, and didn't change once we didn't receive all of the federal money that we thought we were going to get. Because we had already told the town as well as the public that the county was going to be covering the local share for the sidewalks.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other discussion on that? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Item carries. Next item.
Referral 16-0049.
Moved by Legislator Marinetti and seconded by Legislator Hebert. Is there any discussion? Legislator Barath.
Thank you. Through the chair of the administration, first I just want to say thank you for including the total project estimate for the current. I always like to see that, so I know it's up there. I had one question, though, and that was, it lists several consultants were considered. How were the several consultants considered? What was the process thereby?
Through the chair, we use the region has what's called a LDSA list, Local Design Service Agreement list of 15 firms that have been pre-selected for a 3-year period for any projects that are with federal funds. And then we solicit and we send out to them and ask for proposals for the 15 firms, and then a selection group of more than at least 3 people determine the most qualified consultant for this project.
Thank you. And then as a follow-up question, of these 15 firms, through the chair, how many actually submitted a proposal?
Through the chair, 11 firms.
Thank you.
Any other discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Item carries. Next item.
Referral 16-0050.
Moved by Legislator Hebert and seconded by Legislator Carbone. Is there any discussion on this? Legislator Feldman, welcome.
Question through the chair. Why is the cost increasing? Has there been an increased need identified for the project from
Through you, Madam Chairwoman, it's not an actual increase in cost. Previously, the U of R did not include the TB clinic, and this is a consolidation of that service.
So the range is, this is a range from 788 up to 911? It could be anywhere in that range, you're saying? Or?
Through the chair.
Through the chair, excuse me, sorry.
Through you, Madam Chairwoman, this is an expansion of scope. By including the TB clinic, we're moving the dollars that were previously allocated for that service into this contract, thus raising the amount not to exceed from $787,000 to $911,000.
Thank you.
Any other questions? All those in favor signify by saying aye, and any opposed? Item carries. Next item.
Referral 16-0051.
Moved by Legislator Carbone and seconded by Legislator Delahanty. Is there any discussion? Legislator Baroth.
Thank you. Through the chair of the administration, I noticed that we are extending the time frame for this particular program. And my question is, there were some program deliverables that need to be completed. What deliverables still need to be completed?
Through the chair, there is still a data entry component that needs to be completed, as well as some evaluation from the forensic accountant.
Thank you. Through the chair of the administration, when you say evaluation from the forensic accountant, what do you mean by that, please?
There is a forensic accountant that had been hired through the grant to evaluate and go through all of the cases to find cases of elder abuse, to refer them to the EMDT team for additional intervention strategies and everything. So they have to go through all the cases that have been chosen, make sure that they have everything accounted for, and then report back the results.
Thank you. Through the chair of the administration, what is the timeline anticipated on completing all this additional work that is yet to be completed?
This will extend through September 29th of 2016.
Thank you. Thank you. And through the chair of the administration, did something in particular occur that would cause us to go essentially over time by approximately 1 year to get this data entry and evaluation forms completed?
Through the chair, this program was delayed. It was one of 7 nationwide grants. The startup portion of it was delayed by the federal government and New York State due to the complexity of the project and the data security issues surrounding a specific chosen provider.
Thank you. So through the chair of the administration, it's fair to say then that we're ready to go, it's just that we were held up by outside constraints.
Through the chair, that's correct.
Okay, thank you.
Any other discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Item carries. Next item.
Referral 16-0052.
Moved by Legislator Delahanty and seconded by Legislator Rocco. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Item carries. And I've been notified that the next item has been withdrawn by the President. Are there any other matters to come before this committee? Seeing none, the meeting of the January 26th meeting of the Ways and Means will be adjourned, and the next meeting of the Ways and Means Committee will be held on Tuesday, February 23rd at 6 p.m. Thank you. Have a safe evening.